I want to call this meeting to order. This is our monthly Health, Welfare, Recreation Committee. My name is Jimmy Hollingsworth, Chairman. It's December 17th, 2024, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. First of all, I'd like to take roll. Roll's been taken. We have one absent. She's running a little bit late, but she'll be here. Before we approve the agenda, I would like to add something to the agenda. I'd like to put under 4A, I forgot to put on there, I want to put our new business at 4A. And
New business?
Yeah, new business on 4A.
Okay.
And then also, before we approve the minutes, I would like to move 6A, the recreation report with Ms. Smith down to 6D, and I'd like to move 6D up to 6A, which will be our Hillsborough fire report. So,
Okay.
that being said, look over your minutes, and I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
We're doing the minutes first, or
I mean, excuse me, the agenda, excuse me, yeah. Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
A motion
second it.
by Dwight Miller, seconded by Mr. Morris. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right. Let's move down to our minutes, which is your long copy here. Roseanne did a good job preparing those and getting them in today, so read over your minutes, and if you see anything in there that,
Are we approving 2 months, aren't we?
yeah. You
Okay.
look back and get, because last month we, for some reason, didn't get them in, so that should be in your packet there too. If there's anything we missed, just be sure to bring it up so we can correct it.
And we approved the money tonight for the colored lights on the courthouse, 2 sides.
2,500.
Have y'all got to take a look at that?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna make it really look nice. I'll make the motion that, I was not here for the October 24th
Well, I'll
one. but
make the motion then.
Okay, you make the motion, I'll second them.
Got the motion by
Right,
Mr.
vote.
Miller, second by Mr. Morris. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay. So, that being said, any public comments? We have no one here for any comments. We'll get right at it. We'll get down to 6A, which will be our monthly rural fire report. We have Hillsborough here tonight, so if you want to come up and introduce yourself and tell us what you got going on out there.
Push the
Glad to hear
button
you.
for 'em. Oh, we're going this way. Okay.
I'm Casey Spencer. I was just now elected the Assistant Chief for Hillsborough Volunteer Fire Department. I have been with the department myself for 6 years now. And as of right now, we've taken in six new trainees
Wow.
that most of, 2 of them, actually 3 of them just not completed a 16-hour course, which now they will be moving forward to the 64-hour course, then to the live burn, to where that we can be able to utilize them to full capacity. Right now, we have to make sure they're properly trained to be able to do so. Over this year, I looked through my logs. We've actually have only had 2 structure fires, and they weren't technically structure fires. Somebody flipped a cigarette in an ashtray one morning, taking a morning smoke, caught the ashtray or the trash can in the bathroom on fire.
Oh, wow.
And the second one was a water heater explosion.
Wow.
But we have assisted, we have a tight knit between the other 4 departments, North Coffee and Summitville, Hickerson, that we have responded to mutual aid over several dozen calls to assist our brother agencies here for structure fires. We have had one, is an old camper fire right there back off of Tina Lane. I say we've had probably 10 gas leaks due to people cutting the grass and hitting the pipes out in the yard. Just not to worry that.
Too dry.
Yep, too dry and it catches the pipe, causes a gas leak. And because we've been so dry this year, we've had I'd say 30 calls for legal burns, brush fires. We've had several hay bale fires, which that's a lot. That's a lot of effort, a lot of manpower, a lot of water. We've had we've assisted in several vehicle fires in Hillsborough alone. I'd say several dozen mutual aid calls with Manchester and with Pelham, with Coffee County, with Summitville. We're now with our the 6 new trainings we got. We're in the process of right now of building new training props that allows us to teach the newer generation what it's like to come into a burning building on air, no poor visibility, and having to learn to use your hands, your senses, and your training to be able to complete the task at hand and make sure that everybody comes out.
These 6 new guys you got, are they young guys?
Every one of them.
Really?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you ever let them burn a facility like an old barn or something like that, or?
Well, that's where the 16-hour course has to come by Tennessee rules and regulations. We let them station, play with the hose, burn a pile in the back, but as a full engulfed building, Tennessee codes doesn't allow us to allow them to do that until they get to 64 or the 16-hour lesson right on the truck.
Right.
64 and your live burn allows you to, when say it's certified, allows you to go into a full burning structure fire.
Well, when you get them to that point,
Yes.
are there buildings or something that somebody wants burned?
They
Most-
don't allow that anymore, do they?
That's what I was wondering.
They make them pull the shingles
Shingles
off.
Yeah,
Shingles,
they
anything-
did
stuff.
that
Anything
long time
that's
ago.
That's oil-based.
anything that's toxic.
Yep.
Right.
Shingles, some of the asbestos in the walls, the old plumbing, because I've done several of them, assisted with Manchester doing it.
That's why a builder just goes in and demolishes it now. They don't leave the structure for anybody because it
Yeah.
costs them more to.
Unless you
tear
just
out.
got a tin roof or
Yes,
something like that.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, most people put tin roofs over shingles,
Yeah.
so that's one
Yeah,
thing you
yeah.
gotta watch out for. It's bad, but it's double insulation for your roof.
It's
I was
kind,
thinking
it's
the
kind of
barn
bittersweet because y'all need the
Yeah, they
training.
need, yeah, to burn a
Yes.
building down, and
Yeah.
and for some homeowners and stuff, where a farm owner, the barn or the old rent house is gone, but
You gonna
law
tear it
won't
out
allow,
anyway.
law won't allow you to do it because asbestos in the shingles and stuff, so.
I mean, we've had over, I say 3 dozen vehicle fires on the interstate, 18-wheelers coming off of Monument Mountain, or
Y'all get
bad.
insurance back on that? You get any money, you bill anybody? Y'all don't bill anybody? Wow.
You can do that. You can bill them.
I have, Brandon would be the one that would know more about that. I mean, all this is, I was voted in, I'm like a sponge trying to absorb all this.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that we can bill, who would we bill?
The truck's
The insurance company.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you're missing a revenue stream right there.
Yeah, you can bill.
You turned them loose on any of those electric fires yet?
Now, they may
Nope, we have
deny
not
you,
had any EV fires yet.
they may deny it, but at least you're turning it in, and that's like with the roads and stuff. When they run into our guardrails, I think they ought to have to pay for it, but I'm sorry, I jumped ahead of that.
No, it's fine, but like I said, and for the training for young ones, no, if we have the 18-wheeler fire and they're allowed to ride on their trucks, now, once we have it put out, we'll go through and do overhaul, which is with we have our tick, go and find the hot spots, and we'll let the younger guys, since the fire and the danger is gone, go through, spray the wheels and axles, make sure no more flare-ups. That way it gives them a little hands-on training of what it's like to hold the 1 3/4 inch, with 90 pounds of pressure on it,
Right.
and see what it feels like to engage in
When
an
y'all,
active
when
safety.
y'all are out, when you're out in a rural area, do y'all, when you're filling the tankers up, do y'all, if you can, I guess you get a hydrant, or y'all draft it most of the time?
Closest hydrant. But see, for us, we have Hillsborough Elementary right across the street, and there's a hydrant right there.
All right.
And there's a hydrant in the corner right there by Lincoln Nix. So most times, since we got one in front of the station, we'll come fill up, then park everything back
As Tim's our rural water guy, but I mean, I guess you have a little bit of hard time. I mean, some of them hydrants out there is not very hot, right?
No. Some of them are kind of hard to find because there's some of them are in the ditch. Like on,
Grown up.
yeah, overgrown, you can't find them. And some of them are actually, we had one, New Hope, we assisted Summitville. It was set at an angle like this in the ditch. We had to crawl down, look like a 6-foot ditch.
Yeah.
And easily, because the barn on New Hope was on fire, and we used our truck as the pumper to fill the trucks, and we had to ease that thing open and we had to ease it closed.
That's something over the next 10 years we got to get fixed in the county is our water
Water.
supply out
Yeah.
there.
6-inch, 10-inch lines going out to there, 4-inch ain't gonna cut it.
No.
Hillsborough does have more water hydrants than anybody else. They're fortunate they have more than anybody else in the county, but there's not enough.
Ain't much in there.
No, there's not enough. There need to be everywhere, put in and to support these people that are moving in here, so.
Yeah, you know, and the nature of the calls, you know, I mean, if we're on a structure fire and we'll initiate mutual aid, you know, we'll perfectly ask for tankers and manpower. Cause we'll either drop our basket and set a draft and it's just as fast to come in and try to pump them truck to truck. They can back up, dump 2,500 gallons
And take off again.
into the bladder and go off and another truck backs in. No, and you just keep drafting water truck after truck, so.
Well, these 6 new guys you got, how many total active members y'all got up there?
I believe as of right now, including those, we got 23.
That's pretty good.
No, we got Brandon Gunn, Joey Bryant. One of our new guys, his brother is also a firefighter at the base.
We gotta go let her in.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, she's locked outside. You keep
So
going.
yeah, we've got 3, Brandon, Joey, Tim, Tim. Yeah, we got 4 full certified firefighters. Everybody else besides the 6 have all completed their 64-hour course, completed the live burn training, and have our certifications to be able to enter structure fires.
So how often do you lose people?
It's hit and miss. No, we try to keep, we personally at our station try to keep a non-negative environment. If there's an issue between people, when we get back from the scene, we'll go in there and we'll talk about it right then and there instead of letting it fester. So we try to keep all the negativity out of our department, which in turn is helped us gain new people, because before we were lucky to have 2 or 3 people show up, and it's always the same 2 or 3 people. See, now we got these new kids. No, we have an active environment in the firehouse. No, it's a positive environment. So now, every time we have a call, now we're having 5 to 6 people come to the call. Granted fact, they can't do what we do, but there's always something to do on a fire scene.
Yeah.
Help move hoses, help roll up hoses, bring out new hoses. I mean, there's always something that they can learn on any fire scene that's gonna benefit everybody that's out there.
Is that the normal reason for losing them, disagreement, or moving out of the area or what?
Headbutting,
Everybody,
disagreements, you know, like any scene, no, we're all volunteers, no, we all have lives, we all have day jobs, no. It's not good to bring your personal life
Amen.
into here, cause it can result in conflict with everybody else. So you keep all your business at the house, and fire business is fire business.
There you go.
You don't take this to your house, you don't bring your house to us, so we try to minimize the conflict of outer interference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now because of our bigger group and how active we are, we're having more Saturday work sessions. You know, they come in, learn the trucks, learn where everything is out on the trucks, clean the firehouse out, sweep the bays, you know, do a couple hose drills, learn how to fill the truck, so forth and so on. Try to keep the interest up. Because, you know, without volunteers, where we're at in Hillsborough, Manchester can't cover it.
No, if it weren't for all the volunteers, no,
Yeah.
we would all be some.
Because we're prime, because where we're at, we got Pelham, we got Hillsborough, Viola, we got Capitol Hill, and we got Manchester. So we're surrounded by five departments where we sit. So we assist everybody around us, and when we need them, they all come in and assist us.
Well, it's fortunate you've only had 2 structure fires.
Yes.
Yes.
But we've had 10 times the brush fires, 10 times the vehicle fires, the interstate vehicle fires. I mean, it's where we don't lack in some places, we make up in others.
We've been very fortunate this year not to have wildfires get way out of control like they have in other places of this country.
Yeah,
I
it's
know we
been really
burnt
dry.
some acreage and stuff, but we haven't had it get way out of control.
Yes, luckily for ours, no, when ours come out, I think everybody around us all have their own sets. We have 2 brush trucks, Station 1 and Station 2, and everybody has theirs, so when we have a brush fire, no, 1 or 2 companies will bring water and everybody else will bring their brush trucks, and then we'll hit it from all sides. And that way, we got 2 full tankers at least, 4,000 gallons of water who replenish the brush trucks, and they drive around hitting all the hot spots, and we can normally knock it out. Under certain weather conditions, we can contain it pretty quick.
I got another question for you. How's y'all's radio situation? How's that doing?
It's spotty. Better than the old radios.
Okay.
And they are building a new tower on the base, AEDC.
Right.
They are building a new tower that once that tower comes in effect, it's gonna greatly increase the radio performance in Hillsborough. Hillsborough, Pelham, Manchester area.
Like if you're in a metal building, you're in a structure, you can get out now?
Sometimes.
I was glad to
It's
hear
not
you
good.
say
Sometimes that good.
that the new
y'all
radios
still
were
out all
better
the
than the
time?
old. Cause I had heard
You're
before,
down too, son?
the old ones
Go inside of a
worked better.
building, metal building.
Well, the old ones,
because they don't
sometimes
have
you couldn't
repeaters in 'em or
understand
what?
the
Okay.
gurgle.
Don't have repeaters, like you said, don't have the coverage.
Okay.
But supposedly they're working on it.
Yes.
When's the new tower supposed to be up?
I'd say probably it should be closer towards beginning the center of next year, because they've been working on it for a bit. Joe Johnson is our radio guy. He's
Yeah,
in Murfreesboro,
yeah,
and he keeps us updated, and he does all of our radios.
gotcha.
So I just know that they have that one that's being built now.
Anybody got any more questions for the new assistant chief at Hillsborough?
Thank you for doing
Yeah,
that.
Absolutely.
Very much.
I love it. I mean, I was a deputy in Florida. My dad was a volunteer. My grandfather was a volunteer. My younger brother is a firefighter in Murfreesboro. So once I moved back from Florida as a deputy here, I picked this up and been going strong now 6 years.
Another question for you. Y'all got any like special events coming up? Got anything?
Yes,
going
sir.
on?
Friday night at 7 o'clock, we have the Hillsborough Christmas Parade.
Really?
So it would run from the Civic Center behind the fire station all the way down to the new Hillsborough Market, turn around and come back up and come back into the Civic Center.
Any of y'all ever been to it?
I haven't. I'd
No.
like to go.
Yeah.
Is it all tractors?
Yes,
Be neat.
it gets bigger and bigger each year. We now have FHP, or not FHP, THP is now participating. They'll bring one of their cars or their side by side.
Friday at 7.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Let me
Drive your tractor up
let me clarify that just to make
Road.
sure.
there. You drive your tractor.
It's a little too far.
Yeah. Have to put it up on a gooseneck.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
the
neat.
parade is gonna be at 7. So
o'clock.
if y'all wanna come watch it, I'd get there about 6 o'clock, cause once you shut down the roads on both sides, everybody parks
The
along
road.
the road from the beginning to the end, and it turns back around and comes back up. So get there early, bring some warm clothes.
Yeah,
Chris-
it's supposed to be cold.
yeah, this Friday's supposed to be cold.
Christmas dinners, Christmas parties?
Yeah, we're having our annual Christmas dinner the 28th at O'Charlie's.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll have it at the fire hall. We'll get it catered in, and this year we decided to go ahead to take it over to and have it at O'Charlie's this year. And I think in February we're having our nominations for firefighter of the year, rookie of the year, And we got 2 people that we're nominating for 30 years of service
Wow.
Wow,
coming in February.
Who was that?
Glenn
Oscar?
Oscar and Aaron Brown is no longer with us,
Yeah.
but we're still going to honor him, his length of service.
What happened to Aaron? I thought Aaron was still there.
No, he's
Hillsborough.
the head buddy,
He's at the
rescue squad.
rescue squad. That's right. I saw
But
it
he
on
did.
Facebook.
He has been with Hillsborough since he was 14 years old.
Yeah. His
So-
dad was chief there, right?
Yes, before Brandon took it over.
That's right.
So we're still going to honor them too with their plaques for years of service.
Congratulations, Aaron, out there. I know you're probably watching. All right. Any more questions for him? All right. We appreciate you coming.
Mhm.
sharing with
Absolutely.
us. It's good
Yes,
to hear,
sir.
good to hear from all the departments. We appreciate what you do.
If y'all turn a hydrant in, does that water company usually go and do the service to it? I mean, if you turn in a hydrant that's not serviceable, do they come in and?
I would assume they come in.
Okay.
Everyone that we use all work.
Okay.
Because we use them so much. So I mean, anytime we come into a hydrant, we always flush it first before,
Okay.
because sometimes sediment sets in the bottom of it, and if you don't flush it,
Yeah.
you'll pump that sediment right into your tank, and
Mud.
it's going to mess up your pumps.
If y'all ever have trouble with your hydrants or anything out there,
Huh?
Tim Morris is the guy. He's the county contact, so get with Tim, tell the chief out there, give it
Got a
Tim
card?
Morris.
No, I do not, but
He's on the county website.
Okay.
You know, get in there.
Tim Morse, I remember that. Because our hydrants are near and dear, and we need them start functioning when
Yeah, we
From
got
time
we
to
got an
time.
issue out in Beach Grove with some too, where Tim's working on, so we gotta get that stuff fixed, so.
thank you, sir.
Okay, all right, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Nice to
sir.
meet you, folks.
You too.
Georgia.
Thank you.
All right, so, 6B, Animal Control, Craig's not here tonight, so we'll go to 6C, Tim Morris, Rural Water
All right.
Update.
I went and met with the Manchester Water Department December the 5th. Went into their meeting, gave them my information, and I understand that they're real busy right now. Don't want to throw anybody under a truck or anything, or a bus. We just haven't been able to make contact again. So I'm gonna try him again, try Nelson Watson again in the morning.
Is Nelson Watson on that board?
Yes, Nelson's on the board. I called him last night, and he was trying to help me last night. I know that the mayor from Manchester wants to help us out, so just getting to a mayor and alderman meeting, I think, will be the key factor about starting the conversation. So,
Yeah, we've been on this, I mean,
I
how
know, I
long?
feel like I'm dragging a block behind me.
We need to get those folks some help, and I know we're trying, so.
And he's a new man too for the water department, and it's like I told you this morning, I know they're dropping cameras in sewer all the way up and down Highway 41. That's all I've seen for the past week.
You're right.
Is their big trucks sitting there with cameras going in, so I know they probably have a problem somewhere up and down that road, and that may pull everybody off, so.
Have you heard from those folks out there? Have you talked to them lately?
Yes, I've called several of them back, yes.
Or are they saying they're still wanting to do it?
Yes, oh yeah, everybody's wanting to do it, and I thought I was ahead of where I was, so I may have gotten somebody excited, and I want them to be excited, because I want to get ahead. I thought by going to this meeting, getting this going, I thought I was on the right track, and I think I am. It's just,
But for us to ever get a price on product, we've gotta,
I've got to have them tell me yes, and then go through, let them do the engineering and stuff.
All right.
So that way we'll know.
and that, if we get to that point, that'll be done through purchasing, right? County purchasing?
Well, the people on East Certain Road are gonna pay for it themselves.
So we're not furnishing the product, we're just getting okay.
Well, no, we're gonna furnish the product, but they're doing the engineering study and they're putting it in the ground,
Gotcha.
if they'll okay it. And,
So is the county going to provide the pipe?
I think we ought to.
Okay.
That's
I mean,
what we had talked about that,
Yeah.
remember?
But do we have any in inventory, or will we be?
Yes, there is some in Manchester City.
Okay.
May not be enough, but, and I know it set a precedent a long time ago, and people can go back and forth. We've put it in for just about everybody, and yeah, we do give the pipe, and the water revenue does go to whoever the entity is.
But you said the county actually has some inventory of pipe.
Yes, but Manchester City, it's stored at their place.
Oh, it's stored there, okay.
Not on us, they have it.
So this line we're talking about will be tied into Manchester.
Yes. And it'll come off of a 6-inch line on the, I wanna, and I don't know if they can do it or not, but if they come in off the top of 16th model and drop down J.E. Sarton, they don't have to cross the blue line string. They want to dig through it. And you would have gravity and everything, so you would have all kinds of pressure coming down through there. And that 6-inch line, you could even set a water hydrant down there for them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, will be 7 houses down there.
So
And they're hitting dry wells, either that or sulfur water, they're either two.
I'm looking at my budget book here, your budget finance chairman. So if we did that, I'm looking at a rural infrastructure fund, right?
That's $4 million in it.
That's what that's for, right? And that's what that account's set
Yeah.
up for. For infrastructure in the rural county. Okay, just checking.
I guess the part I'm still not clear about, Manchester's not gonna participate on any of it? If the people are providing the engineering and the
Well,
digging, and we're
these
talking
people are,
about the
well,
material,
they're willing to go in this far to get it.
I understand,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, right now, Manchester City's just gonna pump the water.
They're
That's-
And take the
They're
money.
getting all the payout.
Yeah, that's my hangup.
I understand
Always
that,
has
but
been.
getting these people water when you're
I'm
drinking
not
out of a
saying
creek,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't
your
understand why
side.
Manchester doesn't think they'd participate.
Maybe they think they just got good water.
Maybe if you get
Huh?
it for nothing, why not,
Yeah.
from now on?
But the main thing is the main thing is get those folks some water out there.
I'm
'Cause they are
agreeing with
drinking
all
out of
that, I'm just saying, I don't understand that one part.
I got you.
Has anyone asked Manchester City to provide anything? And they said no.
At,
We'll-
Well,
at,
it-
at
we're
first,
at-
at first they wasn't even interested in doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
okay.
we've got them interested
Okay.
Doing it.
in putting
I
water,
see.
yeah,
I understand.
giving us water. They are growing so fast. We're on the skirt tails, I guess you would call it. They're taking, and you can't blame them either. They're taking care of their city people before they're taking care of the county people.
And like Tim said earlier, they like 6 customers, and it's like six customers, and we could
Yep.
get a line for
Understand.
50 customers.
And I also understand how dry they got this year, so
Okay, that's
it's a
good
problem all the way
information.
around.
So
Did, I'm gonna interject for a minute. Did you have a copy of the minutes to give to everybody?
thank you. You did a
Okay,
great
good.
job on those.
You did sign, didn't you?
I did sign, and, okay, I just wanted to make sure of that.
Yeah, you did a good job. Those minutes are good. Okay, Tim, anything else? Any more questions for Tim? Dwight, I know you got something good. Any more? All right.
No,
All right, moving on. Let's go to 6D. That would swap to A, and that would be Roseanne with your rec.
Okay,
Report.
we had our second meeting last night, and, in attendance, you know, everybody was there except for Mr. Kraft, and I think he was out of town. We just, again, it was our second meeting. The county can't really apply for any grants right now for the county, because we don't have a county rec department. So, but we're trying to work together. The idea is we want all 3 entities to work together to have some joint committee maybe, or joint projects. But the main thing is we've got to have land first. And the question keeps coming up about the property that AEDC is gonna let the county lease. We're not gonna give it to them.
99-year lease.
we were told we wouldn't.
They're gonna give it to them?
No, we're
No,
not.
right.
It'll be a lease.
A long-term lease, it'll,
Yes.
yeah. So, you know, that was just an idea. I'm sure everybody might have an idea on that, but, there are several, you know, just kicking around ideas. A tour, it would definitely bring in tax revenue to have, you know, multi-tournaments. The fields that we could possibly get grants for would be like multi-use fields. They could be, you know, there's so many things out there, but we're just trying to figure out how, number one, where's land? Because
Yeah.
without the land, we can't do anything. But can you imagine the tax revenue that would come into this county if there was a draw of tournaments every weekend and those hotels and restaurants were just booming? They may already be booming, but can you imagine? So that's, we really, the main thing that we talked about, one of the key points is there anybody any money in the county that we could get drone footage of the recreational areas of Coffee County? Is that on our county website? I don't think so.
I got an answer for you.
Oh, good.
I think the EMA guys, we had purchased a drone for EMA, and EMA has the ability and the resources to do that.
Video it
Yeah, so,
with Alan,
yeah,
That
Alan
would
can
be-
do that
Alan
for you.
Lindley.
Okay, Alan Lindley, so, well, that's good.
If you want to, I'll see him tomorrow, I can have him call you.
Okay, that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be good, that'd be a good project for them to help with.
Well, it would just be, it's
To
gotta.
put it on their show, what we've got.
Yeah, because that's what, you know, as they were saying, that's what people wanna see. What is there in this county for recreation? There's a rec center in Tullahoma, there's a rec center in Manchester, but the fields, you know, there's so much population, they're all just getting,
Used.
yeah, there's not, I mean, we could really, y'all know, y'all all know somebody in
If we
travel
built
ball.
a quad or a double quad, you would, if somebody, and it would take somebody, and I just use Fly Park in Franklin, Tennessee, for an example. When Lauren played fast pitch softball, that place was open from Friday till Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You probably had between 30 and 50 teams coming in with between 11 and 15 kids. That means 11 and 15 parents, hotel rooms.
Plus grandparents.
Yes, oh
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
and you would spend the night, and you would start eating Friday and not eat and leave Sunday. That's a lot of tax revenue that could be brought in, but it would take somebody that would be strong-willed to run it and advertise and build up the tournament season for you, because you're gonna be competing.
Well, there was an idea that, like Rocky Top up in Gatlinburg, you know,
Yes.
they stay booked year-round. They have a third party to run it and manage it.
Oh, okay,
And there's another,
and
link.
that's mainly slow pitch.
That's everything.
Everything
It's
at
soccer,
that- okay.
it's basketball, it's slow pitch, it's volleyball, it's everything. And just imagine the revenue it does bring in there, but they hire it out to a third party. So that might mean that the county doesn't experience that, you know, employees to run it.
Yeah.
Another park that, Mr. Dameron told us about, Jeff Dameron, they're just, all those folks know a lot. There is, in Albertville, Alabama, that's a population of 23,000. They built, a huge complex, and it cost them $85 million. In the first 6 months, they've already made $15 million in revenue, the
Wow.
first 6 months. And it's a small town, but you know, first off, I think that it was around 60 acres, if I'm not
course, that-
mistaken. You can look it up, you can just Google Albertville, Alabama's park.
I guess that 15 million is just revenue. It's not going back to that, government entity that's paying
Well,
the bond back.
and most of the grants that are out there are 50-50. There's probably not any that are more than that, but we're getting things, you know, talked about and.
What about, Wagner Park adjoining ADC? Could they not expand all that
No, that's,
to a big
well, I
That
mean,
would be a complex.
complex?
complex,
It could
yeah.
be.
I
And
think
nobody's using that property for years.
the National
joining.
Guard bound to that a lot.
Well,
too.
some of it, yeah.
is that the old Camp Forest?
It
Look,
still
right
ought to be
there,
close.
When you're coming into Tullahoma on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
Bay Ridge Field
Yeah.
there.
Well, so that's kind of, you know, those folks are very knowledgeable and experienced. And then with Dave in there for grant writing, he's, you know, now we're just collaborating, and I'm just kind of trying to take notes.
I was watching the meeting last night, and what was the grant for the batting cages and all that kind of?
That was just one that, I didn't bring those minutes, cause I don't have them with yet.
Is that open now?
No, that wasn't, that was for another area. That was just something that he said, here's a grant that this area got, or,
Oh, okay.
he found things. But right now, so like if Tullahoma City and Manchester City wanted to apply for grants, they have people in place to do that. That's what Jeff and Mr. Kraft and AJ Fox do.
So Dave's bringing this stuff up and telling them about it, so they know
Yes,
to look into it.
Yep, we're all just kind of,
So we can't apply for a grant until we have a recreation
yeah,
department?
you would have to have, they said you would have to have, you know, a person designated over that.
Well, would we have to? I mean, you got other entities that can do the grant writing.
Well, there is that Park Partners, that's you know, they've gotten some monies for like the soccer fields across from J&G.
Yes.
So they're a nonprofit or a 501c3 organization, they could. So there's so many ideas that, but
I was gonna say, you got Tullahoma and Manchester for sure.
it comes
Yeah.
back to land. We gonna have to have land, and, you know, I don't know anything. I've just heard bits and pieces about the AEDC property for the new Justice Center.
We need a landowner. We need somebody to donate some land.
Well, it wouldn't take that many acres to do what we're wanting to do.
About
And AEDC's got a lot
60,
that
Forty-
they don't use.
60
48,000, right?
If,
Minimum
you know, if they would
60.
just
I think.
lease,
Parking and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
99-year
pretty
lease is good as
much.
having
That's
it.
what
Fields
they
and a
call it on
concession
I think
stand.
they'd be
wagon
more
wheel. I think
receptive
it
to
might be
that
five.
than
Five
giving.
and a big concession stand.
Yeah,
And did you know-
especially right there by Wagner Park.
That's what I'm saying.
Tullahoma City has got a big something going on at Johnson Lane Soccer Park. It's gonna be indoor. I mean, that's gonna bring
Of course, the state adjoins right across that too.
from Johnson Lane.
Well, yeah, the old
The academy now.
academy, yeah, it's
The girls'
academy
school.
now,
Used to be the
was
girls'
the
school.
girls' school or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
so, yeah, again, we were going to, so the next meeting is January 27th, I believe. We pushed it back, not 4 weeks, but 5, because of Martin Luther King holiday. And we are inviting each mayor, the Tullahoma, Manchester, and Coffee County mayor, so that we can kind of let everybody, and I did get the camera turned on, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. It was
Good for
good.
you.
I watched it. So that's the 22nd,
27th,
27th.
is that on a Monday?
Yep, it is.
We
At
got a
5
meeting, don't
o'clock. Yeah, but we may have a conflict.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
We might change it to 4 o'clock.
What we got going on the 27th?
Well, if you
I
look,
thought that's
there's,
what we, oh, you weren't there. It was another meeting I was in last
yeah.
night.
What was
if you
it?
look on the county,
It was policies and
Okay.
procedures.
I got you.
schedule,
Well, if we stay at 6 o'clock, we're staying away from everybody else pretty much.
We're talking about the
27th, there
Yeah.
is,
not of December,
no, not of December, of January.
January.
yeah.
On the 27th, it says there is a 6 o'clock meeting with the legislative committee, which
I've
I'm on
got two of
that.
them, one behind the other.
You've got one at 5.
I got one at 5, one at 6.
That
So
works out
right
good.
now, we have it scheduled for 5 o'clock on the 27th.
Okay.
All right?
So I won't be able to make that one.
No, because you have one.
I've got two.
Well,
Back to back.
it's just a lot of good ideas. I mean, y'all look at these towns that I mean, I can speak from my own travel days with my kids who were younger, and man, you spend a lot of money doing that, and you know, the whole town is full. And it's some park that was built in a lowland, a flood zone, and,
Columbia.
yeah, yes.
Usually when that happens,
Everywhere.
those kids go for several years on that travel boat. ball.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
everybody can say they
I had
did
some
it.
good friends that grandkids did that, and they went all over the country,
Just like
all of
now,
those grandkids.
just like right after basketball season in February, the kids' basketball starts up, and I know Manchester, Tullahoma, Shelbyville was having tournaments, and it was having like 107, 108 teams with 12 kids on the roster.
Yeah,
And I could tell in Manchester, because they was using the rec center, one of the city schools, the middle school, and the Raider Academy. You could, on Saturdays, you couldn't get around Manchester. You couldn't go in a restaurant.
That's good,
Hotels
though.
were full,
Yeah,
and
that's
it was
good.
a lot of money.
Thank goodness you couldn't get in the shopping center.
Yeah, Tullahoma was.
week.
Yeah, Tullahoma was. It was like a joint share with Tullahoma, because every West Middle, the high school,
That's good.
filled up.
so see, and, you know, just maybe that, you know, on some of that stuff that the schools, the Board of Educations, can kind of allow our gymnasium, our property to be used. I mean, it's, especially if it brings in revenue,
Yeah, that's helped funding them.
yeah.
Yeah, start saying, since we have to. pay
I
it
think
all.
they charge for like, the janitor and stuff to clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
probably.
and then you could have like the band or somebody do the concessions there. Cause it's in their building, you know, they could make money off the concessions if you wanted to do that.
So
Which
it
is real
just-
profitable.
It just gets,
Oh, yeah,
you know, it
yeah.
just grows and grows when you listen to this, so. That, the people on this committee are all very enthusiastic about it, so,
Good.
hey. That's what I've got. I did bring you a copy of I just sent an email out after our first meeting, and, that's how we kinda are sharing ideas, we're just replying all. And that way, it's not really the minutes, but it's pretty close, so I can add, I'll bring the next, like the meeting from last night, I'll bring that to the next meeting. Yeah, so we talked about the tourism dollars. I don't know how many dollars are earmarked for tourism, but,
It was
comes up.
around 300 and something, and last time I looked.
well, sports tourism could be kind of a theme.
Does that, Tim, does that money roll over every year if it's not used? Is it still?
No.
No.
Well, you got to use it,
Yeah,
a certain amount of it at least.
or it can go to the general fund.
Well,
Cause it's being
they'll wanna
generated.
take it back if
Yeah.
you don't use it.
So the drone
The way it's
footage
set up.
thing, we could get, if Alan could maybe do that, that would be something that we could get now and start, you know.
Oh, yeah, you could put it on the website in a week.
I think Alan would be. I think he'd love to do that for you.
Okay,
If you could get pictures of Manchester's baseball fields and stuff, and then Tullahoma's baseball
I
fields.
was gonna say, you ought to be able to get that off of GIS.
Soccer, yeah,
Yeah.
the soccer and stuff, that would be
the
good.
rec centers
The
inside.
county has got GIS, and I know Tullahoma did, and I'm sure Manchester. Everybody's got GIS. It'll show you every piece of property.
Satellite, yeah. You can do
Okay.
good.
And where
work
and
and
everything
pop it
else,
up.
and you can even look up who owns it.
Okay.
But with him flying over, it's gonna give you a really neat,
Yeah,
this
that's
is what
the
it looks like
difference.
Yeah,
today.
you're going to put some music to it and all that stuff, right?
I'm not.
I mean,
Somebody, yeah, our
you know,
webmaster,
yeah,
whoever the
webmaster.
webmaster is, yeah.
sell's going to sell this stuff, right?
Yes, well, somebody will, but,
Yeah, these realtors that do
boy,
this
their
stuff,
stuff is
Oh, yeah, they're
they got that
beautiful.
music. It just makes you want to buy it.
Yeah,
I can ask somebody I know that is in real estate who they use, cause their stuff is gorgeous. Okay,
Okay.
so that's kind of exciting. And I did go to a Coffee County's Fair Board meeting last night also, and, you know, they put a float in the Christmas parade for the first time
I
ever.
saw that,
And they did the Tullahoma parade too.
I saw that.
And they got they placed third place, and, so I have extended the invite to them here, to our meeting, cause I think it would be so good, and they just haven't committed yet.
I think there were more floats in the parades than I'd seen in a long time.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
My coworker she lives in Smyrna, and she went to the Christmas parade, and she said there was very few floats, and and I said, I think there was quite a few in Manchester.
There was a bunch in Tullahoma.
Yeah,
That's-
There were enough entries that it went an hour and a half,
Whoa.
which is unusual.
That's kinda neat. So, anyway, the Coffee County Fair Board, they're, you know, they meet the third Monday of every month at 6 o'clock, so next month, yeah, theirs won't change. They'll keep theirs on the 20th.
Yeah, continue to give them that invitation to come over here and talk to us about stuff. And I'd like to also, while we're talking about this stuff, Tim's ideal, next year with a Christmas
Yep.
tree. I wanna do that as this committee. I'd like to do that. I think that's a great idea. We have a,
And it should be promoted early enough that,
Yeah.
like, maybe now.
yeah, January, we need to start on that. We need to get it out there. I guess we probably need to run that over through, 4-H and Ag, right? Committee,
Miss Brent, too.
and tell
I'll go
them,
talk to her.
yeah,
See
let's
if
do
she'll
that.
up.
And
I'll go see her tomorrow.
let's kind of push that for
I
next
do
year.
have one more to throw at you.
All right.
This is just getting people to come to the square. Lynchburg cooks on the square. Jack, why can't we have George on the square?
I think that's a great idea.
And I'm not promoting alcohol.
No.
But you would have a distiller who is in Coffee County, who
A big-
people could go visit.
A tourism
It's who are
attraction.
historical and it's tourism. And them, us and them maybe get together and promote, and if it's on the week, we don't need to do it, compete with Jack, for sure. If they do it on the 4th of July, us do it Labor Day weekend, or us do it some other weekend, Memorial Day weekend. And just try to get the square, I can feel the heartbeat of the square now.
Yeah.
To me, I
Did y'all go up there for Christmas on the square?
I wanted to, but we had
Man,
the
that was
NOAA
so
community thing.
It's, and maybe somebody else, Common John's barbecue up there or something, just have a cook-off
It
and
can
have
be,
people come
yeah,
in.
several.
I like it. Y'all like that?
It's just crazy things that I just sit around and think of.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of recreation. It is recreation, right?
Well, our square is so beautiful and historic,
Yes.
and there's it's not like you have to worry about cars running through there,
No.
running over people. It's the
And you can block the
perfect
whole square off.
yeah.
You can shut the square down.
There's enough
And
parking.
you would not be inhibiting people to do business because you would be drawing a lot of business uptown if you shut the square down and have a cook-off, because somebody like me is gonna be up there. Just gonna see what's going on.
What do y'all think about that? Y'all want to work on
I
that?
mean, this is something to throw out there to
For,
say, hey.
for maybe next fall?
Yeah. Just not in October.
Yeah, I started to say, you just have to find a
Yeah.
time we're not competing.
Yeah.
I don't wanna compete with it, I don't wanna do any kind of competition or anything with
I
them.
love it. Anything that's going to draw attention to the square.
And if we could encourage George to, do more things, I know they do stuff in the hollow and stuff,
Well, they got something going all the time down there.
but we don't promote it enough.
I'm just saying.
No, never.
It's easy for them because they've got something going on every weekend.
If
No,
you
the
brought 100 people in every weekend, just 100 couples,
That's right.
you think about the payback.
Is that's in the county, right?
Oh, it's in Coffee County, yeah. We make tax revenue off of the storage there. That was one good thing that the law came about. Tennessee sour mash whiskey has to be made here, stored here. They were taking it Kentucky, and now they've built those big warehouses out on Riley Creek Road. Has to be stored here, so I'm sure there's some property taxes that have helped us out too.
It was
I like it.
kind
Good
of a
idea.
hidden
Jim,
thing for a long time, and it never was really promoted a lot. But it's a beautiful little place down
Oh, it
there. You
is.
go down there.
and if you've never been through the tour, it is not commercialized. Jack Daniels does a great job with theirs, but the flour or the corn milling stuff is all there. The way they mill it, you can see it. I mean, you walk right up on it and stuff. At least the last tour I went through.
I don't
And
know
it was-
whether they even charge you.
No, they don't charge at all.
They
I
do
don't
at
think.
Jack.
They didn't used to.
And then the
They do
stores
now.
across there, I think they've closed the post office, but you used to be able to get a postage stamp from George Dickel there at Normandy. So, it's just something that I just
Tell you what,
think
listen.
of how you can get more people involved in Coffee County that don't live here.
Yeah.
And I'm not being rude or anything about it. When we get their tax money, our people don't have to pay.
That's right.
And if we can get them off the interstate and 2 exits, hey, I'm all for it.
A lot of our folks are going to Bell Buckle and spending
Yes.
their money in other places.
Yeah, but if we can get people off the interstate interested in stuff, and the George Dickel sign is at the 105, and you can get off there and find your way too. But it's really not promoted enough, I guess. and by far, I'm not telling everybody to drink or anything.
No,
I'll get in
I
trouble
know
for
what
that.
you're saying.
But
Bob-
it would be cool to have a cook-off up there that they would sponsor
I like it.
and start a tradition for them.
And kind of something that
Have
ties
a
in,
5K or a 10K run, like,
Yeah.
just like Jack.
kind of something that ties in what Tim's talking about is, I guess y'all might approve this, but we approved it the other night in, capital outlay, 11 historical looking signs.
Yes, we
Welcome
did
to
it
Coffee
tonight, yes.
County. It'll be
Like on the
big signs.
interstate?
Yeah,
Like
on
on
the
the
highways.
interstate?
State highways.
On the highways, on the
Well,
state
why
highways.
don't we have one on any exit? Why? How do some cities, when you're driving, they've got this beautiful sign, you know?
I think when you go on the interstate, it's like a whole nother thing getting a sign up. But on our, like, we're having one coming in from Rutherford County, having one coming in from Bedford County in Tullahoma, coming in from Franklin County,
Cannon,
Cannon,
And
Grundy.
T-Dot has to approve where they go, even
These-
on the highways.
And these signs are nice. They look good.
You were talking about, you don't promote the drinking. I don't drink, but I've been to a bunch of distilleries, just to be there and see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually in a good place you like to see anyway. It's usually
Well, the
rural.
creek, yeah, Cascade Hollow down there is beautiful.
Uncle Nearest is good, great over there too. Uncle Nearest was the guy that taught Jack
Yes,
Dane
yeah,
how
yeah, he's in
Jack Dane how
Shelbyville.
to make whiskey. Yeah, they got a beautiful facility over there on
I've heard
Wilkesboro
it's
Highway.
beautiful. I've never been.
And then you got the byproduct that two farmers here in Coffee County are using to feed cattle. It's going out the back door and comes up through Normandy Lake, and so it's being used, all the stuff that's being, I guess would be refuge from it, is being used to cattle feed, so.
I like,
Agriculture is
That's
tied
right,
in.
agriculture's in there.
I
too,
like
so-
the idea. Let's think about it. And then in January, if y'all want to, we'll get a
I'd really like to go
recommendation to
after
do
that.
something.
I'd like to see if we can go talk to them and see if they'd be interested in partnering with Coffee County to do something on the square. You know, black
I
Angus
bet they would.
beef, pork, you got the people in Hillsborough that raise the Weavers, do the pork out there. If you could have people come from, and if you do a big barbecue cook-off, you're gonna have people coming from like Nashville, Atlanta, big places that are really,
And it's another promotion of the
Yes.
square.
in Coffee County. I mean,
That's right.
you fill up the hotels here, they fill up in Tullahoma, and that's pretty neat. So,
Well, you know, that courthouse and that road all the way up to those buildings on the other side, it's county property. Anything that goes in
We
there,
can promote whatever we want. Not really,
well, if we get a
but
recommendation,
I
we
wanna
can.
be, yeah.
I like it. All right, anything else? If
I won't
not,
come up with anything else crazy next time. I would like the
I
Christmas
like
tree.
it. It's
I
good.
I really like the Christmas tree thing. I told somebody the other day about the Wilkins Christmas tree and they remembered, and just,
It was years.
yes.
When-
Oh, yeah, but when
lit
I was a
up.
kid, when
That's
I
all
was a kid.
you always said, go see it.
can you talk to Amy about that?
Yes.
And then the next meeting, the next ag meeting, we can kind of run it out of
Yeah.
this through 4-H.
See if they could come up with somebody who would be a judge,
minutes.
Yeah.
so.
No,
you
we
know.
had some.
You did? October?
All right, do we have any old business that we need to go over?
I hope it's the
Yeah,
same
maybe I
thing.
did. Okay, cool. Let me have
Any-
that back.
Any old business, Dwight, that we need to address, Roseanne, Jackie? Okay. That being said, we'll set a time and date for our next meeting, which will be in January 2025. And I'm looking at Tuesday, the 21st at 6 PM.
Okay.
I'll put it down.
Does that sound good to everybody?
I can.
Okay. And hopefully we can, you know, if we need to talk about this anymore, but I'd like to get that Christmas tree thing going in January and discuss this other thing, the square thing, and discuss it more in January and then start rounding it up and maybe if we do it, shoot for a date in October. All right. Anybody any more comments? If not,
I
I'd entertain a
recommend we adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn,
Second.
second by Jackie Duncan, all in favor? Aye. Ayes have it.